Hello, welcome back. And I know you saw the title, Obedience is Hard. I was thinking about what obedience means this week, and I know as kids we learn early on that we've got to obey our parents. And, I could not get anything past my mama. Nothing. And just when I thought I had got something past her, that rug got ripped right out from under me. Every single time. Every time. I couldn't do nothing. I mean, I may as well have obeyed because I got in trouble every time. Hebrews 12, 6 and 7 says, For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? And that word scourgeth means to whip. I got a lot of whippings. Just saying. They did, and I did get a lot of whippings, and I didn't get in trouble all the time. But when I was little, but they didn't do that because they hated me. They didn't hate me at all. They did that because they loved me, and they wanted to teach me how to be a good human being. That was the point. We couldn't just go rogue and do whatever we wanted to do whenever we wanted to do it. We had to learn to follow the rules and to obey. Proverbs 13:24 says, He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. And betimes, when I looked at that word, it meant quickly. I got chastened quickly. When I did something wrong, when I disobeyed, discipline was quick. And the thing is, like these verses say, it's not because they were mad at me, because they hated me. It's because they loved me and they wanted the best for me. Proverbs 3:11 and 12 says, My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as the Father the Son, in whom he delighteth. So just like our parents, God disciplines us too. And that's hard. It's very hard. But again, he's not doing it because he's mad or we've done something wrong, so we're going to strike you down. That's not what he's doing. He's doing it because he loves us. And he wants to mold us into what he's created us to be. In Ephesians 6:1, it says, Children, obey your parents, for this is right. And then in Colossians 3:20, it says, Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. Children, obey your parents. It's not a hard concept, but it is. It's because we want to do what we want to do. And when we're told no, we get mad or we get upset, and because we want to do this, but you can't. So the Bible dictionary described obedience as to hear God's word and act accordingly. The word translated obey in the Old Testament means to hear, and it's translated in the New Testament as to hear or to listen in a state of submission or to trust. The person's obedient response to God's word is a response of trust or faith. To really hear God's word is to obey God's word. So the Bible views disobedience as failure to hear or do God's word. So our parents are teaching us. God is teaching us. And we have to learn to obey. And a lot of times we have to learn to obey the hard way. All the spankings I got. In Hebrews, when you go back to Hebrews 12:11, it says that now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. So it's not always pleasant at all. It's hard. So being told no is hard. When we get, our parents get on to us, it's hard. When God gets on to us, it's hard. But they're trying to teach us and they're trying to grow us. I remember when Justin was in school, he wanted to go after school to hang out with one of his friends to his house. And we knew this kid, we knew his family, we loved all of them. But for some reason that day, I just thought I didn't feel good about it. So I told him no. I don't know why I felt that way. I just, because we love this family. And I just didn't think it was a good idea. And that day, just my gut said, it's not a good idea. So I told him no. And of course, he was mad, but he did what I asked him to do and he went home. The next day, that same friend met him at school, met him when he got to school. And he told Justin, I am so glad that you didn't go home with me yesterday. And he begins to tell Justin what happened. And what happened when this young man got home, he heard yelling and screaming. He goes to the door and he can't get in. He looks through the window and he sees his dad abusing his mom. He has to climb into a window, get dad off of mom, get mom out into safety. This had never happened before. Never happened again. They did get out and they didn't go back. But this is something that happened. And, Justin called me from school. After he talked to his friend, he called me. He was at school. I was at work. And my cell phone starts ringing. And it's Justin. And I get worried because I don't know what's happening. Because he don't usually call me from school. So I go to the back and he begins to tell me this. And our hearts are broken. We're just tore up. And, he told me he told his friend that he wanted, he offered our place for him a place to stay whenever he wanted to, if he just needed somewhere to go. No questions asked. Come, you're welcome. The only thing that I can tell you from why, I don't know why I didn't know at the time why I felt that way, why I felt like it's not a good idea for you to go today, other than it was God's protection. Because Justin, just hearing the story tore him up. And I don't know what would have happened had he been there. I don't know how he would have handled it or how he would have dealt with it. It was a scary situation. And, he told me that day that I'll never question you again when you tell me no. If you have something that you have a gut feeling about, then I'm not even going to question it. And to my recollection, he never did. He never did question again. And, obedience is hard. It's not always easy. But it's more than worth it because God is creating in us, who he wants us to be and who he's created us to be. We were made for more. More of him, less of me. I thank you for being with me today. It was a hard lesson. And obedience is a hard lesson. But we have to do it. I pray that you have learned from this. I have learned from this. And some lessons we just don't ever forget. Thank you for being with me today. I'll see you next time.